Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on and appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I'll be there in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10, 10. Don't worry, I won't have you waiting. Bitcoin, 108,650. We'll see what happens. Man, the volatility has been absolutely insane this morning. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into it. God bless each and every one of you. What a blessed and beautiful day here, July 8th, 2025. Today could be the beginning of the greatest day of your life. Remember that. All the way to the upside here. Shout out to every single beautiful person here. I love you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. 108,005. Bitcoin continuously gets rejected at these key levels. $109,000. Can we get back above 109 and make it happen? Only time will tell here. Sammy in the summer suit. Shout out to my beautiful people. If I said it again, I'll say it 3 times. God bless you all. Thank you for being here, and I really, really appreciate it. Let's break down BTC and show you what you're here for. BOOKMAP suggesting that we do go. I mean, there's more liquidity on either side. It's pretty red up there, though, at 109.7. Suggests that we still have some shorts to eat up. At 109.7, there is liquidity below us, but it's not as thick as it used to be. Seems to be drying up, so it does suggest if you had to go for it, BOOKMAP says it would go up here first before anything else. Anyway, that's just what it says. 109.7. Last night was a doozy. They took the shorts for a run, and there's probably more of that. We're going to take a look at what's happening to BTC. Let's get some water in the mix here. It is a super, super humid day, even on the northeast. Can't imagine what it's like in Florida. Absolutely sweltering hot here. God bless each and every one of you. Let's jump on into it. We have a bunch of awesome stuff to talk about too as well. U.S. Treasury comments fuel dollar depreciation speculation, which is good for Bitcoin. On Monday, during an interview with CNBC, Besant stated a weak dollar is not a cause for concern. He described currency fluctuations as normal and attributed the dollar's decline probably to the euro's appreciation. Yeah, whatever you want, But that's a good sign that they're downplaying it because it means they want a weaker dollar, right? Metal Planet reveals phase 2 of Bitcoin strategy begins acquisition push. The firm holds 15,555 Bitcoin worth $1.7 billion and aims for 210,000 by 227. I mean, that's going to be a lot compared to what they have. They're going to be buying up a lot of the supply. That's putting pressure on a lot of other companies to think, hey, maybe it's not going to be there for you if everyone has that idea. Bots taking over launch pads. We got Pump Fun. We got also new launch pads coming out too as well. Let's BONK. And they're deploying new tokens at the rate of every 3 minutes. One every 3 minutes. Just 24 hours, 13 wallets launched over 4,200 tokens. Underscoring the growing role of automated strategies in the meme coin farming. Let's BONK, built on Solana, launched in April, has rapidly gained traction by offering BONK token rewards. Something Pump Fun has yet to introduce, and it now surpasses Pump Fun in both token and output and revenue. Something that's pretty interesting to think about. And also, U.S. Treasury's tumble with global peers as Japan debt fears ripple. Yeah, Japan's looking interesting. And also, Ethereum sees a $6 billion in tokenized funds as big players jump in. The contract platform has crossed the major line and now tops $6 billion in total value of tokenized assets on Ethereum. It's a pretty big deal if you think about it. And that's kind of your basis for what's happening today. Bitcoin fighting the 15-minute 200 moving average. We started with this beautiful flag. We got a pump all the way up. My trade was up probably about 500. Came back down, up and down, up and down. I eventually put the stop loss to break even, lost $24 in fees, or maybe $24 in total, something like that, and that was it. So we're back at it. Are we going to get back in the trade? Could we make this beautiful inverted head and shoulder? Where do we stand? What's happening here for Bitcoin? It's just been crazy on the smaller time frames, heavy volatile. I mean, if you were on the 1 minute, you got crushed. And that's why I've been using the 15-minute today to kind of go over it. We did break above the 1 minute 200 moving average, which gave us a bit of move, but we made this M pattern, broke back below it right now. I got to get us back above that for me to feel comfortable about a bullish move later on today. Let's take a look at the weekly and see what's happening to Bitcoin on the weekly. Give you your top data analysis that you come for every single day. God bless everybody out here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being awesome and amazing and jumping into the greatest live stream in the game on our way to 100,000 subscribers and counting. Shout out to the whole team and everybody that makes it happen. Shout out to all my lifers and everybody out here. And may God bless each and every one of you for jumping on into the live and kicking it with me. So there could be a big trade coming here if this plays out on the 15th. But it is summer chop. Don't get chopped up in the summer chop, right? The time is always now, though. Suggesting, you know. So, the weekly. Let's take a look. Really, you want to take a look at your monthly, too. And the monthly candle, I mean, that's a rising wedge. And rising wedges either break up parabolically or, you know, mostly break down. But this has a parabolic vibe to it. 166,000. And a few months by December, right? That's what it's saying. Hey, January 1st, you're at $166,000 Bitcoin. And that would make sense. Okay? That would make sense. So here's to all the beautiful people here on the stream every single day. Know that I care about you, I love you, and I know that you're the reason the stream keeps moving. Without you, I have nothing. There is no stream. Nobody says, oh, Sam Price, I know you. You guys put me on the map. You guys made me micro famous, you know what I mean? And without each and every one of you, no one would have went up to me in Dubai and said, hey, I know you, or up in Las Vegas. So I'm humbled by every single person that says my name to someone else, that carries the torch of the lifers around the world. Whatever you do for the brand and for me, may God bless you, and I thank you. My family thanks you. Generations thank you around the world. Amazing. So I just want to continue the moment and flow of gratitude throughout the show. That's really the crux of the whole show, is gratitude. And I'm teaching you how to find abundance through gratitude. If you can find gratitude every single day in many, many ways, you will live a life you never would have dreamed. Constant abundance around you. Things you wouldn't just get surprised by the beauty of life all the time. You will be that. You will get there. Things you wouldn't believe will happen in ways you never thought they would happen. Have faith, keep pushing, and never give up on yourself. All right? So here we go. Can we, 168,598 is a big target there on the weekly. Let's kind of zoom in now. One thing I want to talk about is just this weekly close. It closes like that. I mean, isn't that a double top? So I'm just, but Sam, you just said, I'm open-minded. That looks like a rising wedge, but I know rising wedge is a 32% chance of breaking down. So we know it could break out. I'm just showing you where it would go if it did break out. Not telling you we're going to break out for sure. It looks right. Everything's kind of setting up. But that's a bit of a double top for me. And that could create an M pattern. And that could dump us somewhere back down to here. I mean, that's just what could happen. 93,008, 95,000, even to this high volume node there. 96K. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm not becoming a perma bear here. I just want to always keep you on your toes. I want to constantly let you show you things that you probably aren't going to see on another channel. I'm never going to be perma bear, perma bull. I'm just, every single time I'm going to look at the charts. And I learned this the hard way, everyone. Through long, long times of being up, being down, figuring it out. I learned this the hard way. Okay, so the weekly. We want to make sure a weekly candle can close above these two areas. That's going to be oh so important. I want to see this weekly candle close above $109,000. Let's see, it opened, 109.4, 109 even, really. So right there. We close below it. That means we're closing below resistance. And that is now weekly resistance for sure. We have the support right there at 106.5 now too. Because that's just where two candles close. You can use that as support on the weekly. It's that strong. And then the backup there at 104.5. So that's kind of the range we're in now for Bitcoin. One thing, could we make a bigger range? I just thought of here, like, does this take weeks? September, we start to break out. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is... We could be range bound for a while. Bitcoin comes back to 103, 109, and this would be great. I mean, we would make some awesome trades up and down. We'd cross the 200 moving average, the 1 hour. We'd get my signals in the 4, We'd get the shorts below. It would be, you know, and this would prolong us to January to about $145,000 Bitcoin. I mean, that could happen. These are possibilities here. I'm just kind of building. I didn't even think about this yet. I've never even put this out. I've never even seen it. This is the first time I've even considered this idea in my entire life, right? But it's possible. I've seen this many times. It may not be as long. It could be a little shorter, but I mean, it usually respects the geometric shapes of the 45-degree angles. That's what I've learned over time. I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, but it's definitely a possibility. We'll start to dump. Everyone will get bearish. They'll rip the shorts again. Bearish, rip the shorts again. And then there'll be so much shorts there still waiting from this double top. It'll give us enough of a squeeze to get us, and then all-time highs, and then people will FOMO in, and then that's when we'll get an insane rally. So this is just something that could happen, and keep it in the back of your mind. I just saw it for the first time. I just share with you whatever comes to my mind. Whatever creative energy flows through my brain, I share with you. That's it. I'm not trying to tell you I'm the greatest thing ever. I'm not trying to, there's better traders than me. Hey, I've never said I was the best, but I'm the most consistent you've probably ever seen in your life. And you know what? They asked Americans what they liked the most of anything in the world, and you know what they said? Consistency. And not just Americans, but people around the world. People love consistency, man. What kind of friend do you want? A friend that shows up sometimes, or a friend that's always on point? You want a friend that's always on point, of course. Why? Because you love consistency. It makes you secure. Consistency is like, wow, I can depend on that. You can depend on nothing else but consistency. Like this show, I'm going to do everything I can to keep the show here every single day. You could depend on that, no matter what. So yeah, the weekly could come on down to 104,000. We could get a move down here. It's possible. If this weekly candle closes red, I just want to break it down for you. It's not, it's going to be, you know, definitely put some caution out there. So don't be confused if we take a pullback there. I love the 5-day. Looks really bullish. You know, starting to really come into its own even. You could either do, you know, you could say it's in this. I just combine it here on that weird. But that, whenever I see two candles together like that, it's usually it was a breakout, fake out. But the 5-day chart looks interesting. Could it make a right shoulder in a way? Never thought of it like that. That's possible. Could the 3-day chart be making a head and shoulder pattern? Never even thought of it, you know, until right now. The mind has to consider all the different things. We don't have all the answers. See, other traders want to show you that they have the answer every day. I just show you that I never have the answer. I have no clue. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea what Bitcoin's going to do. I just trade probabilities and ideas and sets and models that I've backtested over time. That's all. It's not that hard to understand. It's pretty simple, really. It seems genius because most people aren't doing the simple stuff. They're doing a bunch of different things that confuse them. So if you simplify your plan and your move, you're going to look like a genius to a lot of people because simple is genius. I figured that out one day. I was like, oh, wow. If you can simplify what you do and make it pretty straightforward and get it done, well, you're probably going to be more productive than most people. And if you're more productive, people are going to think you're a genius. You see what I'm saying? But you're just someone who's more concentrated on focus and discipline. Maybe that's genius in and of itself. I don't know. But all I know is you could achieve it yourself. Everyone here has a genius code inside of them. Something you do, almost nobody can do the way you can do it. I'm telling you right now, I know you may not believe me. You may have spit your coffee out. But every single person in this chat, every single one of you has something special that you can do that no one else can do. You got to tap into that, find out what that is, and lean into it. You know, people will tell you it's not for you. People will tell you up and down. You'll be drawn to a certain, like I was drawn to the mic. I was drawn to the camera. I was drawn to the stage. I knew at a young age that I was going to be doing something, talking, speaking, using a microphone in front of people, right? Wearing no pants. I have pants on, all right? And my pants look really nice with what I'm wearing. Anyway, so yeah, you all have a genius code in you. Back to the 3-day chart. Beautiful. The 3-day chart, you know, could come right back down here to 106.9. So this is another thing I've been watching. It's iffy. There's definitely two roads to this. A lot of people on either side of the bend. What I will tell you is when the 21 is touching and the stochastics are oversold, or, you know, moving up there, that's a pretty good sign you're going to get a move, specifically on the bigger time frame, like the 3-day chart. Doesn't mean we can't get to, you know, 9 more days of pullback there to 106.8 or something, but it just, you know, starts to make it warm and cozy for sure. So what are the pros and cons here? The cons are the weekly. We don't want to see a weekly red close. That doesn't look amazing. The pros are that the 5-day, the 3-day chart, they're holding higher lows. They're looking pretty interesting. And there's no reason to be, you know, overly bearish just yet right now. And then here we are with that daily, you know, and the daily for me looked like it could possibly have been bearish, right? But right there, like that for me would have been, it kind of ripped up again. Could you say this is, you know, I don't know. It's a little much for me. And now the daily itself is in this, you know, somewhat of a flag here. And why did I omit this wedge? I mean, it just looks like they stop hunted, ripped it back up again. But they overall kept this trend line alive. So, you know, that's why. Shout out to Pat Pachuche. Am I saying that right? Pachuche? Yo, Sammy, have you seen the attention Cass is getting from the so-called Bitcoin Maxi on X? Any thoughts on that? Much love. As always, thank you for the live streams. No, I haven't. Thank you for saying something. I'll take a look. All right. Someone says, my genius is knowing SpongeBob SquarePants information. Who needs pants when you're making gains? Shout out to Lalo Crypto. It's important to wear pants. It's like making your bed every morning. Shout out to Hank Solman. Thank you for the 242 lifer likes today, family. You are the best lifer in the world. Thank you so much, Love Learning, for spreading that appreciation and gratitude throughout the stream. So moving forward, let's take a look here at BTC. The daily to me is just range bound inside of this, you know, kind of a wedge really if you look at it. And just loving, you know, just hanging out. To me, it does look like we're going to just kind of hang out. The low could be 107, 106.9. We could even break out, right? Daily doesn't look too bad. 12 and the 22, kind of moving down, but not horrible. And there definitely is a bit of a pattern here, too. Just kind of, you got this going on, which to me is, I got to say, kind of looks more like a bull pennant than anything else, if I had to call it. But it does have some symmetrical triangle vibes for me, personally. The 8-hour, 21 above the 200. The 4-hour, the 21 above the 200. These are like bullish signs for me, personally. And then we had this cat ears last night that ended up not playing out. So, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that we coil up here. I don't know. It kind of has head and shoulder vibes too, right? Revisit that 200 on the 4, bounce off 106.8, 106.6, or go sideways and pump. Honey, a lower volume Tuesday, you can feel price action kind of crawling a bit. Not as much action. It's definitely July 4th week. A lot of people take this whole week off. They go somewhere with the family, especially successful people that learn how to trade. They're like, I'm done. You know, this is where they want to actually take the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we range bound for all day long here. Just go sideways for 8 to 10 hours. You know, if we lose the 200 moving average in the 1 hour, then I'd consider some type of possible shorting, or even just not a short, but waiting for us to bounce back off 106.5. It looks to me like we're just going to get kind of a nothing burger today and a lot of sideways price action. Man, we could get a whole move straight down. I guess it's possible. To me, it looks lack of volume on either end, and we'll likely go sideways for most of the day. You know, I started watching the 15-minute above the 200 moving average. That was kind of the plan of the day, and it all started to look interesting. But they've been manipulating price now all around the board. And now, if anything, I'd have to start building this idea and showing you that, okay, are you going to shoulder, head, right shoulder us, and then propel us further to the upside here? This, you know, I still love the 15-minute. I still like the 200 moving average. You know, I don't give up on my old idea. You know, this is what I've learned, actually. I think it's helped me over time. I've molded my subconscious now to stay very consistent and stubborn in a way on one tactic and one tactic only, to the point where it returns, you know. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to give 20 memberships. Who did that? Living Like Chess sent 20 lifer memberships. I think they're about $4.99. So that's like throwing down 4 times 20, right? That's like $100, $80. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but you did. That'll come back to you tenfold. And now a bunch of people get to be green in the chat. Sammy and Salmon all day long, baby. You know how we roll. Yeah. Okay, so can we get this bounce and stay above the 200 moving average on the 15? I wouldn't get too into the smaller time frames today. We do have to have the 1 minute break back above the 200 just to kind of regain any steam. The 5 minute stays above the 200, good sign. The 15 minute stays above it. Still a possibility for a pump here up to 110,005. I haven't given up on a bullish move. It is Tuesday, but only time will tell. So as we can continue to kind of look through this move here for Bitcoin, so that's it. We just went from the monthly to the weekly, looked at the bigger time frame ideas, saw where we could go, saw the treachery, basically zoomed into the smaller time frames, looked at our key levels, and now we're pretty locked in. We're pretty locked in. And there may be time for another trade. You never know. There may be time for another trade. So we're back above the 200. Can we get the pump? Crazy. I really should be waiting for that 1 minute to get above the 200 moving average. But that could be the what I call, this is the aggressive entry. Then there's the lower risk entry that doesn't pay as much, but it's, you know, it's lower risk. We still got to say, hands clapping for 108,006. Like, Bitcoin's been above 100K this time for a while, right? You know, a lot of times it gets above there, we lose it a day later. It's been strong above 100,000. You gotta love Bitcoin for that. Like, it's been doing damage. Take a look at that crypto fear and greed index today and see where we're sitting at. 65 is almost low for like this type of rally where we're in. Like, that's a good, what I mean is these pullbacks are like, you know, I wouldn't even think, good time to grab up a little bit of BTC for me. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but I like these levels here, 65, considering we're not up in the high greed. We're in the middle. We're in greed, but in the middle. You know, we can still get into these heavy areas. Says we could get to 117, 120. Then we're going to probably have to get a pullback. This can't go on forever. And this thing is just pretty accurate the way we look at it, too. So remember, we bought that fear back in February at 10. $84,000 BTC went to 74. Then we bought more, 76, 77, 81. Huge buy at 81. And so we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if you accumulated any days on the days that I was accumulating, like even if you didn't know me, but you just look back, oh yeah, I mean, wow, we are doing well together. High five, right? Thank you. But seriously, shout out to my Bitcoin peoples. You know, Bitcoin's been treating us absolutely lovely. It's been volatile, it's been up and down, but it's been great. It's been absolutely great. So we take a look here. This could be the trade. Again, same idea I went with earlier today. I covered smoothly, didn't have to suffer. So we'd get to what, 110.8? That makes sense to me. Stop loss would be somewhere at about 108,339. Okay. I mean, 300 for 1,800. And it's already been moving up. If you can stay above that 200 moving average, and on a Tuesday is where I would be far more aggressive than normal. You know, it's a Tuesday. I feel very comfortable about, you know, but again, it is lower price actually than normal. So despite it being a Tuesday, it's not a regular Tuesday. It's a Tuesday in the middle of July, or the beginning of July, or mid-beginning of July. July 8th, man. Wow, the summer goes by so fast. It was just June 4th, right? I just got to Massachusetts June 4th. We started up the new stream from the new location, got going, and now we've been pumping for a month straight here in a new location. Crazy how we could run the show from around the world. It doesn't matter what state, what planet I'm in. we keep doing them. Wow, that would have pumped continuously. That's a huge green candle off the 200 moving average. What I expect to happen, these are what I look for. Wow, nice bounce there. And wow, there you go. There's the moment of truth. Usually there will be a rejection here, especially when you're that far from the 21-day moving average. You'll get reject. Perfect time to take some profit if you're in a quick scalp. But again, you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Get yourself a financial advisor or do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade, you know? And never do what you hear somebody do on YouTube. Never. 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 This is for education and entertainment purposes only. So look, I mean, a bounce off that 200 moving average, a solid green candle, oversold in the stochastics RSI. I'm not going to jump in just yet. I'd like to give it an hour and see if it can really consolidate above the 200 moving average. If it can, we have ourselves a possible entry point for BTC. But it's about being patient, knowing what you're going to do, and letting it play out. Now, BONK, getting tokens, people may be selling them off earlier, but also putting it on the limelight with Let's BONK. It tells me there's a chance it could go up, you know? So I think something like this, stop below that wick there. But BONK's on the radar. You know, it is getting high. It's been pumping for a while, but man, look at that beautiful inverted head and shoulder played out a little bit there to the upside. BONK. Let's jump on into the chat. What is the chat doing? Nothing better than making gains while you sleep with Crypto Weirdo and Master Friend. Prayers to the family and search and rescue folks in Texas. God bless you all, man. Thank you so much for being out there and hanging out. Matt Lifer at OBV. You know, I figured that. But, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it if you call me Crypto Weirdo. Sam's a spiritual advisor, right? We love the education. Anytime. Anytime. Reminding myself that each trade is one of a set of 10. My edge says I will lose an average of 3.5 out of 10. This helps me stay calm and not anxious about the possible outcome. It's math plus risk. Every single time I'm in a trade, shout out to the $20 super chat from Crypto Plumber. Then thank you so much for the email. I appreciate that, man. We're going to do the right thing, get things replaced by a professional for sure. But it makes sense. I've actually done some good studying on it all. And not that it, you know. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. We love you, Andrew. God bless you, man. Yeah. God bless you and your family, right? I trust Sam more than anyone in crypto. He is the guru. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for saying that. Let's take a look at the Forex calendar and see what's happening out there. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday, nothing crazy happening. As we said, it was actually a pretty slow week when it came to volatile news at 8:30 in the morning and stuff. Tomorrow, we got nothing coming our way. We're pretty even. And, you know, inside the treasury market in Japan, that's kind of, you know, but that's I love that. That's bullish. So. And then Friday, we have something on Thursday, if I remember. Yeah, we have the 30-year bond, unemployment claims. Thursday at 8:30. That's the only thing we got to really look out for the entire week, which is pretty awesome. You know, beautiful week of July here. Not getting bombarded every 5 seconds by a Fed meeting, this, that, and the other thing over here. So I like it. I like it. It's a good week. So we've looked at Bitcoin. We have a pretty good idea of what Bitcoin's doing today. Right? I do. I hope you do too. It all makes somewhat sense. And if we can stay above that 200 moving average on the 15, things are going to be pretty peachy for BTCC. Look at this. Would you look at that? I don't know where it is. I get these updates, you know, every morning the desktop changes. But that's just serene and beautiful. Not like simplicity, right? Just one tree, the water in the sky. And that's how, you know, art, it's the more simple art is, the better it is. Sometimes it just, you let nature just teach you what to take a picture of. 95% we will not get a rate hike in July 30th coming up. September, it does switch to a 62% chance we get a rate cut. So it's more likely we get a rate cut than not. By October, there's a 45% chance we stay where we're at. 38% we get a deeper cut. And then by December, kind of still only a 43% chance that we kind of, you know, stay where we're at, and only at 20. So, wow, it's getting tighter. That maybe only 1 or 2 cuts. But we'll see. As one changes, it will affect the next, and we'll go from there. Bitcoin, seeing if it gets sustainable, loses the 200, then we could have a bearish day for sure on the 15, or at least be challenging this key area there at about 108,000 evens again. I love it to battle 108 and stay above it. That's going to be the battle. This is going to be it here today. We're going to see what happens on High Volume Tuesday, which has no volume, but still has volume more than the other days that had no volume. So it's still High Volume Tuesday. You get it? Yeah. All right, 108,728 for Bitcoin. And I can't really, you know, go over Bitcoin until I'm blue in the face. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. I got to trade for the NASDAQ open here right now, hanging out. I'm looking for this right shoulder to be formed. I'm looking for shoulder, head, right shoulder. Then I'm looking to win and win my trade. We took 2,000 to 4,252 bucks. We're risking another 10% of the, a little less than that, about 3% of the account, 2% to gain 10% of the account. So we're going up. That would turn us back to basically 4,600. Then one more trade could knock us to 5. And then when we hit that $5,000 milestone from 2,000, that's a big deal for me, you know, because that shows that you have, you know, if you can do that, that shows you have some trading capabilities. You have some skill. You have some skill that you could maybe continue to move forward with one day at a time. Every day you can lose the skill by getting above yourself, telling yourself you're sweet, and starting to think too highly and not humbling yourself. I'm not saying we can't think we're amazing and achieve great things. You know, I don't want to give you that Irish Catholic guilt there like I was born with in West Roxbury, Boston. But I want you to understand that, you know, it's good to kind of tell ourselves that we're not the greatest thing that ever happened. That's how, you know, you hit 5, 6, 7 trades in a row, you start thinking that you're unstoppable. And that's when usually people go extra hard at the wrong time and lose it all. Again, I'm just reading a story from the old book of trading. You know, you don't want to be a statistic now, do you? You see what I'm saying? You know, just another one that bites the dust? Or do you want to be someone that absolutely made it? Made it happen, found a way to win. I'd like to be the latter. So let's look for this right shoulder, shall we? This is the plan. And this is what we're looking for here on the NASDAQ. Right now, the trade is down 17. Wow, we're starting to get pummeled. And we may lose 156, but that's okay. I'll still have 4,000, and I'll have my double up to play with. So close to getting to 5, so close to, you know what I mean? And that's trading in a nutshell. So we got a NASDAQ trade open on BTCC. Here on BTCC, you could trade all sorts of awesome stuff. You can claim your new rewards too by jumping on into a lifer, earn up to 10,500 bucks here on BTCC. Always going to be something for you here on my links. And then on top of that, you could trade the NASDAQ, you could trade Bitcoin, you could trade Tesla, you could trade gold. It's pretty awesome. Like, you won't have to leave other places to look at assets that you love. And I find that just absolutely beautiful. Tesla, to me, looks like it's about to start making a bit of a move here. Optimus comes out, robo-taxiing, right? People realize the brand kind of separated itself, right? It might actually be pro-brand. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just, you know. But I would have, you know, that looks interesting to me. $635 Tesla. And this is on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin exchange, BTCC. This has been around for 14 years, too. One of the oldest exchanges, most trusted exchanges in the game. Just so you know, they're not some fly-by-night, in-and-out exchange. They've been around before all the other exchanges, and they're still here. Should tell you something. And innovating fast. Changing the way you see the trades. It's pretty awesome. So, Tech 100 is the NASDAQ. If you're thinking of jumping on in and trading the NASDAQ with the lifer. The link to BTC is below, and you can trade anything. You can trade the Bitcoin trades too as well. It's all here for your trading pleasure. Bitcoin, playing games again. Sideways chop. A day where I would just really watch price action patiently and not feel like you have to trade. You know, never force trades. There's always going to be a slow month here and here and there. Things are going to kind of dry up. That happens. It doesn't mean we give up. There's still, look, there was still a big move there in DJI 5900. That thing ripped to the upside. There's still gains to be had. You just got to pay attention and find them. But they're around. They are around. So here we watch Bitcoin just chilling. Just chilling. Remember, on weeks, you can buy Bitcoin too whenever you need to. All right, I like to buy Bitcoin right here on weeks. Just kind of jump on in, take a look at what's happening, and grab a little BTC, right? Little Bitcoin never hurt nobody. 2,000 Bitcoins real quick for about 2.1 mil, and then we'll be on our way. No, I'm messing around. But I will take myself, be greedy when others are fearful. I got points. I need that. I just need to get another point. Wow, 0.1 is a lot of Bitcoin now. Look. You know how many people will never buy 0.1 Bitcoin? That's $10,800 for 0.1 Bitcoin now. It's crazy. I remember when 0.1 Bitcoin was just a few $100. That's insane. That is insane. So 0.01 is, you're talking 1,800, right? Yeah. 0.02. Wow. And I'll just keep grabbing wow. To get this back to another whole BTC, 30 racks. And it's going to probably get more and more expensive every single time. 108,643 for Bitcoin. Now, if you want to get it, you want to chase that price, you think it's going to keep going up, you're going to miss out. You can always cancel the order, right? You can hit a higher price, 651, and do it again, 0.02, right? But DCing into BTC, that's how I do it here on weeks. You don't have to be a futures trader. You don't have to be crazy. You don't have to go nuts. Just, I'll be honest, how I made a majority of money in my life and changed my whole life was just doing right there, just buying Bitcoin. Slowly but surely, when everyone else told me it was, I was too late, didn't make sense. I was, I didn't know what I was doing. I just kept grinding and just kept taking a piece. And I'll leave that order. I'm pretty sure it'll get hit at one point. Oh my gosh, 666. And yeah, just kind of sit. There we go. I got tapped and I grabbed some Bitcoin. I'm not, too scared of that price action at 108,000. So definitely don't like what we're seeing today though. It's back and forth. Look, if you look at the 1 minute, it's just chop. And it looks more bearish than bullish. You're back below the 200 moving average. To me, it's all about this 200. Look, you got rejected by it. We got to get back above it for our day to fly. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you that if we end up over here somewhere in the 15 on that, I'm going to take that long. Looks like somewhere at 215, 230, something like that. We could end up getting the indication. So that's the plan for the day. That's what I'm looking at. Seems like a pretty good execution move there, right? Wow, look at these super chats coming on in. We got a lot of super chats coming in here. Let's not downplay this $50 super chat. I swear I'd never have a social media account, but now I do. Thanks, Mr. Price, for the info you post on X. And education awaits all the readers to fund the shorts, man. Thank you for saying that. I have an amazing X.com account, and I'm telling you right now, don't waste your time on other X accounts. This account is amazing. Look at the article we wrote up recently, okay? And look, people even just take, ideas from the live. What's happening right now? Look, we talked about it. Cat ears. What pattern is Bitcoin? And look at that, 66. This one did great. That's funny, huh? It looks bullish. Funny. No matter what's happening, I'm thankful to be here. We keep moving with purpose every single day. Look, XRP. It's a great article about XRP and what's the, what I'm looking at. This right here. Crypto ETFs, and what's the big idea? They offer exposure to Bitcoin. This is good to help your family and friends understand what's happening, right? And what's keeping you getting trapped from fake breakouts, like liquidity hunts, previous highs. If a breakout doesn't break and hold a key swing high, it's likely bait. Don't fall. This is awesome stuff. And you'll fill yourself with great information. I'm not just, it's not, financial freedom isn't a dream. It's a discipline, an 8 to 12 minute read. The stuff will change your life. I'm telling you, we're really filling the Twitter with awesome information, and every once in a while, a little bit of my personality as a joke, right? I mean, that's me. Hey. Shout out to everyone that comes our way. Wow, another dump back below that 200. A bearish move again for Bitcoin. Not able to kind of stay sustainably above the 15-minute 200 moving average. Needs some type of inverted head and shoulder here to stay alive. Look like it's getting pummeled. Let's take a look at the bearish scenario here for Bitcoin. I like to kind of look at another chart. Just open my mind. Make sure I'm not seeing anything one-sided too much, right? Didn't want it to stop like that. Shout out to the 1,351 people. Sorry about the dual streams today. The key stays from yesterday, and if the key sits in there, it'll go to the other stream. I solely apologize. I gotta keep double checking that key. Every once in a while, I do make that mistake. I usually catch it quickly. This time, I had set the live stream, had to go up, and my daughter had begged me to swing her. And I said, I couldn't say, no, I'm too busy. She said, please, Daddy. I said, but I got the stream. So I ran out, and I swung her for 5 minutes as best I could. And then I said, babe, I gotta go now, but I hope, I know I make you cry, right? Daddy's got to work all summer long, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll be back out there with the kids. I can't wait to be back outside with the kids. It's such a beautiful day, And I'm sure a lot of people feel like that, and that's why we might just see sideways price action here on the daily time frame. So the daily candle looks like it could close green, and it doesn't look too bad, really, when you think about it all. It's kind of this, though. The 4-hour looks pretty treacherous. 4 hours about to tweezer top and look bare, coming down. I don't know. It just looks. But again, it could just be chop. And even if we dump, it's chop. That's the daily chop too. So I'm just seeing chop here. Not a lot of craziness here. Not a lot of, just chop. And if you would like to hit up any of the exchanges I talked about, Weeks is right here, right? BitTinex. BTCC, I do hit a commission if you trade. I greatly appreciate that. A great way to give back to the channel and to the knowledge that you received here. A lot of people do that, and I greatly appreciate it. Time with your daughter is better than on a 1 million Bitcoin. Right move, brother. I know, I wish I had more. I almost was like, is today the day I just don't do the stream and I just sit here all day and push with my daughter? I said, nah, I got to do what I got to do, man. It's for her, too, that I show up on time and do what I got to do, right? So shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Master Friend for the $20 super chat. Living like chess. We love you, Master Friend. Sam, can you check the daily encrypt great and early project? I swore I'd never have a social media account, but now I do. Thank you. God bless you, brother. Crypto Plumber, Andrew Yurkovic, Living Like Chess, and Pachuch, if I'm saying that correctly. I hope not. I hope right. Wilder Weavers. Hey, Sam, could you check the daily of Ink? Great and early project. Ink. Let's take a look at what you're saying here. INC. Encrypt on Blowfin, from what I see. I mean, it bounced off 008, going sideways. I don't know. It looks pretty awkward. I mean, the price action is very low volume. See, that's why the candles look like this. Let me take a look at what it looks like on a DEX, just in case it has something more to it. INC encrypt. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's only on the on here. I don't know. It looks interesting. It's kind of cup and handling. There's a chance. I don't know enough about it, and it looks pretty early. Hey, maybe you're into it. I don't know. Let me take a look at it on CoinMarketCap and see if there's any reason why I should be, interested It doesn't even come up here just yet. So I don't know, man. Brand new coin, though. You definitely found something new. Hey, you might have more conviction than I have at the moment. I don't know enough about it. Let's take a look here at Crypto Rank and see what's happening to around the world. We got Layer 0. And this is the most searched coins, the top 20 search coins in the last 7 days. Plume Network, Cross, BONK, pumping up 60%, right? Egan Cloud, Paleo. I was looking at this yesterday. It is on a DEX. I was actually about to trade it on the DEX on MEXC. We're going to get even more information now. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be able to really put it all together, right? American Party is out there, you know, of course. Penguin Wars, Jupiter, World Avalanche, Optimism, Cross, and Pudgy Penguin's really still out there. And then the most visited coins in the last 7 days. I don't know how you visit Bitcoin, but I guess it's websites about it or something. I don't know how they track that. Layer 0, Fragmetric on my radar. Frag, brand new coin. Humanity Protocol, up 15%. New coin too, very smaller market cap. 100 million below is tiny. Solana, of course. Hashflow, Impossible Cloud, ICNT. Sahara AI keeps coming up. Might make a big move later on in the next few months. You know, I just keep these in mind, and eventually they're the things that I trade. Cross, things that I trade. Because I'm paying attention right now. SEI, Carrier 1. That's the whole thing, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Look like we got a little bit of a chip there, but we're back, a little chip shot. Everything seems fine though. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Chat revenue, $115. Your people are absolutely amazing. May God bless everybody here on the live. I'm going to continue to educate you, give you the information you need. Let's take a look at some cool little memes here that are coming out. This is just how the market is. This is part of the overflow whenever you get some pumpage. So market cap of this one, 32 million. Looks like yesterday it just went on an absolute tear. Again, you knew this was going to come eventually. Kind of a head and shoulder pattern, or it could be a flag. I don't know if I'm ready and willing to just jump on in just yet, but yeah. It could make a right shoulder and dump, but it could end up being consolidation too. Very, you know, small market cap, one of the first ones out. Just putting it out there. Remember LaunchCoin? LaunchCoin real fast on my radar today because it's at a key level. The Master Friend 786. Shout out to Master Friend. My man. Look at this. LaunchCoin could bounce off the 786 and rip to the upside. And if you want to find out more, all right, about me and my crew of characters, go to cryptolifer.com. All right, there you will find out about me and about my buddy Master Friend. All right, check out the YouTube live stream and more. Testimonials, jump on in, news and insights. All right. You can subscribe to the $99 trading group. Find out more. We even have Leverage Mastery, where you can add a subscription by Master Friend. Hit the links here to find out more. Leverage Mastery will really teach you a lot about trading leverage daily, in and out, in a high level situation. Yeah, so I believe that's like a nice addition once you kind of get a grasp of what you're doing when it comes to spot and just understanding the charts. From there, you can build. Still, the idea is still strong here that we could do some type of inverted, some type of bounce. I just wait for my models to play out, then I take them. If they don't, then I don't take them. Very simple way to trade. Now, if you don't have a model, you haven't watched price action long enough to even know what to do. So you basically, if you have a model, it's basically the years of work giving you back your years of work. It's saying, hey, you didn't know you were about to hit the precipice of something that was going to pay you for, you know, but now you did. And here it is. And because you put so much effort into the charts, it's here for you. And you're ready to rock out with it. And, you know, that's kind of what happens when you put in the work. You know, the work comes back and shows you, hey, you know, it's just a really special thing when you get locked into your discipline, locked into what you're doing, and you're able to kind of call into things the way you want them to be in life. And you start having control over almost every situation because you know that you are in control. All right. Got some deep dive coins too. And Maple Finance operates within the DeFi lending market, specifically targeting institutional borrowers. If you know Maple, you know, and it provides capital to crypto native institutions such as hedge funds, market makers, and exchanges through over-collateralized loans. The DeFi lending market is a total value locked of approximately $55 billion, representing about 47% of overall DeFi markets. Maple's finance of 2.7 accounts for roughly 2.3% of the market. Maple's getting big. Syrup's getting big. We're going to talk about it in a little while. All right, the Syrup token really starting to gain momentum. We could see this thing do some damage because it's got that utility. People are using it. We're talking big-time DeFi for institutions. This is coming. It's already here. I'm just, you know, it's coming like possibly to becoming the next big pump that we're going to see in the market. So pay attention. We got you on the newest trends, the hottest stuff, just because we stay up to date with what's happening. And even the people in the chat keep us going. They tell us what's happening in the chat, and we know. So blessings on blessings to everybody out here. Thank you for jumping on in and being awesome and being a part of one of the greatest shows on earth, the Crypto Lifer Show. We love you. We appreciate you. And we care about you guys. And again, as I say, there would be no show without each and every one of you. So okay. Moving forward, let me jump back into the chat. Make sure I did encrypt. Okay, we went through that. Master friend, I swear I'd never have a social media account. Thank you very much for doing that, though. Now you do. You're going to learn from social media. Social media is education. I got education out of social media. I found mentors, people that pushed me, people that told me I could do things I never thought possible. You know, the Jim Rohns of this world, the Dan Peñas, people that really pushed me to become great. Ed Milet, all different people out there I bounced ideas off of, I used for mentorship. Sometime when I was down and out, you know, one thing Ed Milet said to me that changed my life ever, you know, again, not in person, but I was just watching a video on Instagram. And he was like, you know, he said something. He said, I got hurt. I think he was supposed to play baseball, but he hurt his leg. He couldn't do it. And his dad said, you have to say, why did this happen to you? Not, you know, happen for you, not to you. And, you know, always things used to happen. I was like, why did this happen to me? And I used to say it a lot. Why did they do this to me? This person did it to me. My boss fired me. It's, you know, why did they do it to me? What that does, why did this happen to me? What it does is it immediately says that you are a leaf on a stream. And you are not the stream pushing the leaf. You're the energy pushing that leaf around. You're not the leaf floating around, right? But when we say, why did this happen to me? We basically give up our ability to say that we were the ones in charge. You know, why did this happen for me? Things are happening in your life to show you something, to teach you something. Every single thing that's going on, you consider it bad, but years from now, it could be, it may not be, you know. There's an old saying, right? And like, I think it's a Japanese saying. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to but there's an old man. And I think he says, you know, his neighbor says, your horse ran away. That's bad luck. He says, maybe yes, maybe no. Oh, no, there's a storm coming. It's bad luck. And he goes, I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. All right. And then the storm comes and rouses his horse, and his horse runs away. And his neighbor comes and says, your horse ran away. And he goes, you know, it's bad luck. And he's like, maybe yes, maybe no. Like, the whole point is each time it's bad luck, but then it's not. Then it's bad luck, and then it's not. And then bad luck, and then it's not. I'll get the right story for you, right? I got to say it right. I had it, but I forgot it, right? But I'm going to get it for you. Yeah. There's a farmer who had a wife and a son. The one son helped the farmer with the chores. On the farm, they had one horse, which helped the farmer plow his fields and travel to town. One evening, after feeding the horse, the son left the gate unlocked, wide open, and the horse ran away. A neighbor heard about the horse, and he said to the farmer, you're so unlucky to lose your horse. The farmer replied, maybe yes, maybe no. A few days later, right? The horse returned, and it had 3 horses with it. The son opened the gate and secured all the horses. As the neighbor rode by and saw the 4 horses, he remarked to the farmer, "Now surely you are lucky to have so much good luck with your horse." The farmer said, "Maybe yes, maybe no." One of the 3 horses was wilder than the others, and the son tried to break that horse of bad habits and tame her. The son was thrown from the horse and broke his arm. Spotting the sling and the brace of the son's arm, the neighbor said, "What a terrible misfortune to have your son's arm broken. You are so unlucky." The farmer remarked, "Maybe yes, maybe no." A few days later, the government troops marched through the town and conscripted all the able-bodied young men and able to serve in the army. Seeing the boy with the broken arm, he was not admitted. The neighbor heard the news and ran to the farmer and said, "Surely now you can see your son's fall from the horse was a good thing. You're so lucky." Again, the farmer lamented, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Moral of the story, you never know whether what happens to you is good or bad without the passage of sufficient time. Fortune and luck can swing either way, so stay the course, stay steady, and the truth will be revealed. Amen. That's powerful. You know, I took time out of the show to say that because it hit me hard, and it gets me deep in the soul, right? And it's a reason why I got where I'm at today. I think about, you know, why you say, why you get so emotional there? Because I bought so much Bitcoin in times when people said no, and I stayed the course. You know, the truth was revealed. I lived through this entire thing. And again, maybe yes, maybe no. Let's see what happens, you know? But I'm hopeful for the future, and I stay completely positive that I'm in control of my opportunities by being positive at all times. And if I'm positive at all times and I am in control of my opportunities, then opportunities will come to me. I will make sure of it. Because I'm the opportunity. You understand? Once you believe, and it's not about being pompous. When you shed light, you help others free themselves from doubt. When you push yourselves and do great things, you help others push themselves to do great things. So never pull yourself back and think you're being pompous by believing in yourself or by being confident. For you're freeing everyone out there that sees you as an example of light, love, and happiness. And you're pushing people to a whole new place in life that they never thought they could go. So remember that. Remember that on your journey. Remember that on your days. Never stop, right? We're here for a reason. Turn your positive energy. Shout out to Jeff Fielder with a pretty, wow, Jeff. I hope you've had some issues with the ladies in the past. I don't know. Funny, man. Can we get this falling wedge break back to the upside here on the 15-minute? Finally oversold. Looks like we just may. You know, basically, price action is pretty flat again during the live. 108,004. We started, what, you know, it's been an hour now. Let's see here. 15-minute candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I guess we've had some little volatility. We've slid to the downside a little bit. Or we were already kind of right around here as the stream started. So there you have it. Let's take a look at that NASDAQ trade. How's it doing? Flat again. Nothing really coming our way just yet today, but it's not over yet. The later afternoon may provide the movement. Let's stay, you know, we got to basically stay the course. Good tariff news, right? As tariffs are getting pushed back again till August. We'll see how that works. But that's always a good sign for now. You know, hey, kick the can down the road, especially when it comes to the stocks. So we'll deal with it when we have to, you know. Someone asked for PONKE. So for PONKE, por favor, from Ivan Roque. Let's take a look at PONKE. And I own some PONKE. Meme coins, are they going to come back? Are they all going to come back? Wow, it looks just like Bitcoin. Fine, we left Bitcoin. It was in the exact, there's the head and shoulder, you know, the cat ears last night. You have to say you're in basically a symmetrical triangle, and these mainly break down. They don't have to every single time, but they mainly do. And most of the time recently they have as well. I'll back us out of the VRVP here so you can see. So you could break out, get through this gap. I mean, then you could gap all the way up to 17. Or you break back down again, and it's basically some type of massacre, black swan, everything dumps. You know, it's open. I'm open-minded. What do I like about it? The daily, right? I'm looking at the bigger picture here, the 3-day chart inside of this cup and handle. And I'm looking for the bigger breakout on the 3-day chart to the upside. Sam, check out our REIT syndicate with Andy Furstel and Ed Millett. It's a mentorship program for business owners and entrepreneurs. God bless you. Shout out to Dylan Bronson. Thank you. I hope everyone trades are going swimmingly. Gold is getting crushed today. Makes sense. Tesla Poppage. Hey, did Sammy... Hey, I told you, hey. Trump speaking with the cabinet now. Sold off all my memes. Blue chips only this cycle. Even Doge isn't hot like he used to be. I agree. Shout out to Master Friend. After hours, baby. Amen. That money comes in the afternoon. I love it. We're here for a reason. Turn on your positive energy. God bless everybody out here on the live. Thank you for everyone kicking it with the lifer. One of the best live streams of the game. So appreciative. And may we get the likes up to the watchers. May we get as many people to subscribe as possible. On our way to 99,000 subscribers. And then to the beautiful triple 100,000 subs. And if we can get there, hey, by the end of August, I'd be blessed. So I hope everyone's trades are going well. God bless you. Sold off all my meme coins. Blue chips only. Interesting. Be sure you put your feet in the right place and then stand firm. People are wearing MOODENG shirts. It's like Doge and Shib. Dude, my buddy came to my house and had a MOODENG shirt on. Like for the 4th of July. And he said he was living in Thailand and he saw it. So he bought it. He didn't even know there was a coin. I said, you know there's a coin called MOODENG? He said, no. Like he knows about crypto too. He's just not huge into it. I mean, I see that move there. The bounce off the 786, 618 at 14 was pretty nice. We got the wick all the way to 24. Now we're kind of in limbo now, right? MOODENG. Let's take a look. Everything's in these transition periods. But that's a breakout. What you'd like to see is it just kind of flag. So just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets the bounce, everything will flag out. Bitcoin rolls over, everything will roll over. It's, you know, as much as they're correlated... Not correlated because they're completely different assets. Bitcoin runs the show. You know, it almost says we have like just a week of sideways price action before we can get blessed with some pumpage when it comes to MOODENG. Okay. Enlo over here. Shout out to Master Friend. Love learning. Yeah. One and done for me. Hey. Sup, friend? People are wearing MOODENG. I know, right? Just want to make sure I'm jiving with the chat. Making sure everything is going the way it's going. Shout out to Master Friend. Hope everything's going well out there. I don't know if you're hitting the beach or if the weather has changed for you. Here it's a little cool, 78, 70. But it looks like we could maybe take a dip in the water later on this beautiful, beautiful day. So we covered most of the news. One thing I do want to talk about too is Ethereum. Let's take a look at ETH and break it down. Spend some time on ETH. I saw this falling wedge breaking out on the 50-minute last night. 25.7. I wanted to hit 26. It went to 2,600. I saw 26.27. Pretty cool, if you ask me. So ETH did that pump. Kind of staying ahead of the game there and staying sideways. I got it in this bigger idea. Getting tight, right? It could go either way. It's going to go up or down, right? Symmetrical triangle. Breaks down, it takes you back to 1,800. It breaks up, you go to 33. You know, I'm always a little more, I have a bullish bias. You know, I stay open-minded, but I'm always a little more bullish than bearish for sure. But look, this second hit the top of the trend line, down again. And again, just like Bitcoin, I see some tight price action here for Ethereum. And it's going to find its way. I mean, that would and eventually be a bull pennant too. That could break to the upside. It does look like we could have a nice bullish move for ETH. Could be your last chance to buy ETH at 25. Stop loss below 24.21. Interesting. Let's take a look at CRO. I was in talks to working with them. They sent me an email. Wow, what happened there? That's insanity. I mean, that's rippage out of nowhere, huh? Crow just a sudden just decides it's going to bottom out and no one's going to say nothing about it. Crazy pump right to the daily 200. Tight moving averages, you pump to the daily 200 moving average. I've seen it many, many times. Wow, if you look at that flag on the 15, I mean, that's basically your ascending triangle breaking out. Looks like it could go for more, head all the way up to what? 11,208. Interesting. It's bullish. I wouldn't chase it, but it does look like it wants to continue to pump. 5 minute did break out again. It looks like it's going. There's some news, something. 11.2 looks like the target. I can't jump in that. I feel like I'd have to be in here and be riding it, but it looks good. Do you ever hit Letha Springs or Rainbow Springs outside of Tampa? I gotta go to Rainbow Springs. I've been hearing about this stuff. Hey, my name's Sam. Price will go up or down. Price moves up or down. Sam, what the heck? Who is that guy? What a weirdo. Yeah. Both scenarios said you can't be wrong. What a weirdo. Get this guy out of here, please, man. I don't care. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance. It doesn't really matter to me. It matters if I make money or not. I get to do this every single day because I made money trading. I don't have to listen to you ever again. I can like hit you right here and tell you to leave my channel. See? Goodbye. I don't have to take, at the end of Billy Joel's concerts, he says, don't take from anybody. It's the last thing he says. And you know what? I listen to him. And so I don't take from anybody, man. I really don't. So any negative energy, and I just remove it. And God bless that man. Maybe have a better life. Yeah, broke boy energy, 100%. Yeah, brokies. We don't like the broke energy over here. Only high resilience. Amen. Yeah. Hey, I'm blessed to have a hater, especially in the middle of the summer. That's how we got wrecked, making comments like that. Oh, burn. Burn, baby, burn. I see XRP pumping, like you could see, it is technically we're in symmetrical triangles that could go either way. That's the pattern. I'm just showing you the pattern, but look, there's an Adam and Eve here. There's some vibes of a pump, right? And you're getting tight ETFs, a lot of action, people looking at it. In my humble opinion, XRP headed to 342, back to that high again. Yeah. Sam, I used to be addicted to the hockey pokey, but because of the show, I've turned myself around. God bless you, brother. Yeah. The charts only go one way, bro. Common. Give him a chance. You're funny. Josephine Eustace Antique. I know, right? Eventually you're going to see whatever I'm saying is right or wrong, or whatever the information I give you, whether it plays out. I don't like the fact that we're just kind of doing nothing all day. 108.420 though. Sideways price action. It is what it is. Right? You can't Sam, how do you manage the mental game in trading? I mean, it takes time. You just keep doing it until you get better at that. You find out what your weak points are by doing it a lot. If you don't do it enough, you won't know what your weak points are. All right? Yeah. I take from you, though, Sammy, your wisdom and positivity, and I spread it like the wave at a baseball game. Hey, that's so cool, Jeff Fielder. I love you, man. Hey, you sound like a baseball player with the last name Fielder. Hey, Sam, can you look at 1 hour on Bitcoin? Is the model playing out? I don't think so. Let's take a look, though. The daily is fighting a green close today. It just may pull it off, too, though. He said, is the 1 hour in the model? I mean, I see what you're saying. It's touching the 21 above the 200. It is, but not in a flag. I'd like it to be in a flag when it's doing that. You see? But that's why we're watching this 15 right here. We'd like to see this get back above the 200, not slump back down. Shoulder, it looks like it's going to slump down, though. I'm getting more bearish vibes than bullish for sure. Alexander Lesby says, brother, you're very inspirational every now and then when I'm here. I gain so much knowledge and boost to continue the trading journey, but also my life in general. Hope you see this message, kind sir. God bless you. Sam, what would you say is a realistic percentage account increase per year for a new trader with a small account? I mean, if I had $2,000, I would like to turn it into 10. You know what I'm saying? Within a year. But I mean, if I could double it in a year, I'd be impressed with myself. Sam, is the model playing out on the 1 hour? I wouldn't say so, no. It has to flag out. It could, though. I mean, it is the model, but I'd like a flag first. So it's the beginning of the model. Yeah, Sam, do you think the bull run could extend to 2026 quarter 1 or even quarter 2? And if it ends in quarter 4, 2025, what do you think Q3 and Q6 could see pumping again? It's a little too much for me to go that far. I'm into that 12 month to 18 months though, that Bitcoin would be done by like April, or usually Bitcoin's done by June or January or February, and then the altcoins pump for like March. You know what I mean? As the money leaves Bitcoin and flows into altcoins, something like that. But I don't know. July 9th is the deadline to comply with the tariffs. August 1st is like when late fees start applying. Interesting. Okay. Sam, is the model playing out on the 1 hour time frame? No, not like I want it to be. The beginnings of it possibly. Yeah. I think you asked that twice, or maybe I just read it more than once. Yeah. No, you asked it more than once. Yeah, enough there. Love the stream like a fat kid loves cake. God bless you, Nola. Hey, I love cake too. Does that make me? No, I'm just. So wow, we're kind of flat. Price action is, well, 183. Now we're starting to dump. And again, we never got back above the 1 minute 200 moving average. Remember that. Never got back above it. Trying to make some type of higher low here and bounce back. Attempting. I see chop all day long on the daily, on the 4 hour. Tells me just to kind of let price action do its thing. Another day of just sideways. If we lose the 15-minute 200, though, we'd have to assume we would come down to 107.6. That's an area that I would be definitely paying attention to for Bitcoin, right? Let's kind of zoom out here and take a look at the total market cap and all of cryptocurrency and see what we're seeing for key levels. We'll get back to that. Should look a lot like Bitcoin, but, we'll see if there's any variations or differences. So right here, previous support became resistance. Beautiful bounce there. Solidified the fact that we have that now as support, which would tell you now everything else is just consolidation. And maybe the altcoins are just getting ready for the biggest move of their lives, and they're just, and we're going to drop. I mean, that looks like consolidation, right? We could come back down, come back up, get tight, and then we're gone to a $6.3 trillion market cap. Weekly kind of playing out in our favor in that same way. Weekly actually looks really nice here on the total market cap. Could come down into that, so it says, hey, you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks at the very most. And then you're going to have to pick a pretty big decision here. And I see it as a shoulder head, right shoulder to the upside. It looks pretty bullish to me. The 21 May moving average is close. The moving averages aren't that far apart as far as they could be for bigger time frames. You're actually pretty tight on the 5-day chart. You're really tight on that 3-day, suggesting that you're about to blast. So like the 3-day says tomorrow we could start the pump. We could be closer than I think, than any of us think, right? The charts convey that there could be a big move here on total. So total looks interesting. Like it's very close to a move. Bitcoin eventually takes that pump. Look, the daily looks so much better than Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin looks a little weird. The daily, look at the bigger chart there. Bitcoin's in the rising wedge. This is more like in a pennant, a bull pennant really. Wow. So total market cap looks very, very bullish to me. As long as it stays above that 200, gets tight. I mean, I don't see how it can continue. It's in the model here. Look, I mean, it's tight. Bang. Maybe 4 or 5 more days of sideways price action, like I said, for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at total 3 and see. These are all the altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, so we can kind of get a better look at the bigger picture. And I'll delete everything. We'll look at it fresh again from the weekly on. This is important to do. You don't want to be rushing through everything. You want to kind of take your time. This is why I love this stream. This stream slows me down, gives me the moment, the 2 hours every day to focus and be disciplined. It's just a blessing that I get to have people watch my focus and discipline every day. You people are awesome. And then you guys have insight. We make it happen. We have some fun. All right. Look at this 777s here on the chart for whatever reason. Not crazy, right? Follows us around everywhere we go. On BOOKMAP too, which is nuts. A bit of a shoulder head, possible slanted right shoulder. Could we get the flip up? It could be considered as symmetrical. I get it. Previous resistance is support there with the bounce. 5-day chart looks interesting. 3-day chart looks like we could get some love here. Back to the upside. Still, in my humble opinion, altcoins are just in this variation of a cup and handle. And maybe a little more down, maybe a tiny more up and down, like, but then just, you know, bang. And when that breaks out, we're gone, right? We're gone. And then it brings us to that daily, and we're kind of inverted head and shoulder right below that 200 moving average. This is the same pattern that Bitcoin's in. You know, you're tight here, you're tight there, just, you know, maybe 2 or more days. Something's got to give here for the total market cap. We could drop down, go tight too. We're in a very, very, very sensitive place where price action is about to do, you know, you can see we're either going to get beat up or, you know, pump. It's hard to tell. Other days we're in a bull panic, we're above the 21. I'm saying we're going to pump. This pattern itself these are all, you know, 50% patterns. So you can see we're going to get tight in here. And then you got to say, hey, I'm willing to take a shot. For me, it's all about that 1 minute 200. If we get above that, then, you know, I trade that 15-minute 200 and I go from there. I just trade the 200 moving averages. On all multiple time frames, combine the knowledge together and find out where the highest probability entries are. And then that's how I get it done. And it works out pretty dang good, I'll tell you that. All right. Maybe yes, maybe no, right? Sammy Cup and Handy, the Bears are coming for us all. Better late than never. You're funny. Bears are winning on the shorter time frames. Yes, they are. It's happening. They're going to take us down. The Bears. No, the Bears. I mean, it looks like head and shoulder. He's shoulder, head, right shoulder, shoulder. Like, it looks just, right? We lose that 7-minute 200, we're going to dump. We definitely lost the 15-minute 200 moving average. That was, you know, and we needed the bounce. Not getting it. Getting tighter inside of a falling wedge, though. And again, I would zoom out and really be looking at that daily, that, you know, and don't be surprised if we dump down there or if we just go sideways for all day long. So I see sideways or dump. I don't see a huge pump coming. Not until later tonight or tomorrow, you know. So for sure, I'm not overly bearish. I'm bullish. So at least I'll give you that. Like, I am picking a side here. I'm saying we're going sideways or down. I don't see a pump anytime soon. Not until we flag out on that 15-minute. And that looks like it would take at least 2 to 3 hours for me to get a sufficient flag that I would say, hey, you know, that's a good flag. I'd like to take that flag. Not, so. That's a sweet suit. By the way, bro, looking sharp. Shout out to Weenie. Thank you, Weenie. What a name you have there. Impressive. School needs to add trading to us as a subject matter. Yes or no? I mean, they'd probably feel a lot, you know, I don't know. It's weird. Definitely how to understand momentum, though. Momentum, human emotions in trading, and how momentum is created, how momentum actually, you know, basically runs the whole show. That's interesting. So, yeah, I would project that 15-minute yet again. Watch the 4-hour. It could just get tight. You might have 16 hours of sideways price action. That's what I see happening. Sideways or down. Trump will speak in a little bit. Oh, there we go. And a full moon this week coming too as well, right? So I wish Bitcoin would get a move on. So a lot of us, right? Now that we've done our due diligence here for total 3, like, this is a cup and handle. And that's why almost every altcoin's following this model. Like 90% are in the cup and handle waiting on that 3-day chart. For that move. For that play. For that pump, baby. And it's all setting up nicely for the cup and handle on that 3-day to just absolutely skyrocket. So, I'm loaded up. I'm ready to go. Altcoins start to pump. It's going to be $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 days. So let's go. I'm waiting. I can't, let's go. So now I want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Why? Well, we want to see how money is flowing in or out of Bitcoin. Now, to me, it says there's a huge move coming for Bitcoin. If that's true, this is going to go parabolic again, and you're going to see a pump But then that's when Bitcoin's going to, that's at that 71% level. That's when you're probably, in a second that hits and starts to drop, altcoins are going to start pumping. And that's what we want to see. Could it be a racy head and shoulder that's going to drop on us? Possible. Rising wedges do break down 68% of the time. It's more likely, but if Bitcoin goes parabolic, you know that dominance is getting taken with it. It's going to make a pretty big move. I do see a bearish div on dominance, though. And that tells me that we should be rolling over. Like 90% of the time, you're going to roll over. 99, I'd say. So that tells me that we may get some love for these altcoins. But I also don't understand, because if Bitcoin's going to pump huge, I would assume Bitcoin dominance will too as well. But maybe finally, just enough people will be moving their money into altcoins that it will just, Bitcoin could even pump with a little bit of lack of dominance. Haven't seen that in a while, though. It's kind of rare for this type where we are on the market cycle, but it could happen. It changes at one point. Could it be a preemptive change? Unlikely to me, but let's take a look at the Tether dominance, and this looks like it's in a head and shoulder that's going to just completely dump. And that's what we're looking at here for continuation to the downside. So nothing really changed here. Sorry. Just got to get rid of this. Nothing changes here, and it has a target way down there if it breaks down, too, from the symmetrical triangle. I'm looking for this head and shoulder just to lose the daily 200 moving average. We're very close to it. Tether dominance. Unless we get a black swan and we get a bounce, it looks more bearish than bullish to me in the last few days. I'd like to see it continue its move on down. And that's Tether dominance really going to have, an effect on the rest of the market there. Every time you can see there's a high probability. Why are people going to rush into Tether? Like, why would they be doing that? Gold right at a key level. Let's take a look at it. Is it going to dump? I say it probably bounces here. If you have a weak dollar, I don't see how gold doesn't respond well. One thing I just saw, though, is a possible head right shoulder. I mean, Bitcoin's a superior asset, and people just know it by now. Like, everybody knows it. Like, no one's buying gold. No one's selling their stock to buy reissue, like what Michael Saylor's doing. And he just made $14 billion. Like, no company made $14 billion in quarter two with gold. I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong. We could double check, because I don't know for sure. So there's definitely a chance I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's unlikely. And that alone should tell you that Bitcoin's superior, because you can't do what Michael Saylor did with gold that you could do with Bitcoin. And you could say whatever you want. I don't know. Gold looks like it may start to fall here. I agree. Very key. If gold bounced, then I think a long in it. You see gold here, then yes. But there's, starting to look like it's going to fall out of a head and shoulder pattern. Gold looks a little weird. Let's take a look at SEI. And it's just not the answer right now, right? The answer could and shall be BTC. So this was, hope we put an alert on it to see if it could stay inside a flag, sideways flag. And it just made a downwards flag. Now it's on the 200 and the 21. You would expect a bounce here, oversold. I'm in this coin already with a boat with a nice little bag, so I'd like to see an 83% gain for sure. Previous resistance is support. It's high risk, high reward here. And if Bitcoin drops, this will drop too. So I can't, low volume on the summer has me a little weary of almost all these moves. Could it be kind of a sideways Adam and Eve? I think it's a great place to load up. DCA-wise, I don't know if it's the best trade in the game. High risk. It could pump off that one. It could pump off that daily 200 moving average for sure. The daily, right? Yeah, right there. I mean, but it's just high risk, high reward there. So you either be willing to take a beating if it doesn't go your way. I mean, you can't complain. But you're not buying the top, so I don't know. You can feel something coming. There's something coming down the tubes. Yeah. Gold and silver is manipulated. Yeah, so I see sideways price action, but hey, I figured eventually there's going to, I'm more bullish than bearish for sure for Bitcoin that we're going to break out huge to the upside. Like I am seeing it, but at the same time, I know if we lose the 200 moving average on the 4 hour, I can't say that anymore. Like that's going to affect my trading, because it's not happening. So no matter what we do, no matter how hard we push it, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? And that's, that's how we go through it. One other thing you want to look at too is ETHBTC when we're kind of looking at all this together. This is going to help us decide whether alt season is coming. Today's a slower day, of course, right? Today's a day of watching and observing. Most people aren't going to pay attention. This is a day where you get ready for possible alt season. Like, you start really seeing what opportunity. Tomorrow, everything's pumping. Everyone's like, oh, what happened? They caught off guard because they decided to take the day off. They said it was slow, so they didn't need the moves. But look, ETHBTC is about to pump. That's a really good sign that altcoins are about to get a move, and then that dominance could fall off. It looks like we're about to get a mini altcoin season for about a month. Something's about to brew here, so pay attention. I've got my bags packed. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, but you do whatever makes you happy. I am more bullish than bearish when it comes to my overall behavior and where my money is. So I could say whatever I want as an analyst. I'm heavy long on almost all these assets, right, in the long term too as well. With Bitcoin, Solana, you name it. I see ETH Bitcoin making a move, and that's pretty interesting to me. I like that. That's going to be great. We get that pump. That will change the game. ETH Bitcoin really is that leader. Like, when you start seeing ETH beat up on Bitcoin, and then so what I do now is I go Sol ETH too, because now I can connect the chain, right? ETH beating on Bitcoin, can Sol beat up on Ethereum. It's crazy to see that Sol lost so much of that dominance. Let's take a look how it happened. And again, like I showed you, how did that happen? Well, Ethereum sees $6 billion in tokenized funds as big players jump in, right? So Solana became the meme game, and ETH became the real chain of utility. That big money, I'm not saying, so just, wow. It almost suggests that maybe Solana's reign on ETH dominance is over. We'll see. Could it bounce here? To me, it's below a resistance. It's got to break back above 6.5. And on the daily, it's kind of in a bit of a bear flag, no? I'm just, going over what I know with you guys. I'm not a genius. I just show you what I see. I show up every day so people think I'm the best, but I'm just the guy here every day. When is this slow time the best time to look for entries? When it's slow, it's the best time. Yeah, for sure, too. You don't have to get that, like, the market's ripping. You could barely get in. It's going up, then back down, then up, then back down. Right? Crow's on the move here. If you don't crow, you don't know. Shout out to Fit in Crypto. My man, God bless you. Crypto Crow, man. Funny, everyone thought BBB. I don't know what that means. Shout out to Jennifer Mofit. Yeah. I'm betting on Sol. So, yeah, I like Sol against Ethereum over time, but right now it just doesn't look amazing. And that means that ETH could start to get a bit of a move, which is really a good sign. This doesn't mean it's bad. It's a good sign for Ethereum. At the end of the day, it's a good sign for Ethereum, right? Let's look at XRPETH. That's another interesting idea, right? Same bear flag, like as if like Ethereum just really took charge. So these coins were beating up, and then Ethereum just took charge. Pretty awesome. Let's look at SEI for Sol. Do they have that? Sol SEI. Somewhere I could find it. They definitely have SEI for ETH, right? ETH for DAI. ETH for SWI. ETH SWI by ETH Bridge. No, I'm not. Oh, let's take a look at Deep Book Protocol, right? Considering like SWI had a bit of a pullback recently. So again, there's that just cup and handle for everything. And everything's just going to be in this giant cup and handle. It's boring, I know. But this, honestly, opportunity arises when no one's paying attention. Every time there's an industry, quote unquote, that's boring, a billionaire arises. Why? Because the top 1%. 99% of people said it was boring. So 1% of people were able to take advantage of the move, and something big happened. The fact that institutions are mass choosing ETH shows the cycle will be dominated by ETH over Sol. I don't think Sol could take over. Maybe 2028, though. Yeah, I've never really thought that Sol could flip ETH. A lot of people say that. I like keeping ETH and Bitcoin in their place for the overall market, too. It's good standard practice to have foundational assets there. Let's take a look here at Cardano. On Messe. I see Cardano dabbling here with the 786 Fibonacci. looking for a bounce, going sideways, and it's just, you know, a great accumulation zone before it pumps back up to 157. Now, I own Solana for a long period of time, of course. So, I mean, Cardano for a long period of time. So, yeah, I'm going to be overall bullish on Cardano. But I definitely see a bigger move coming for Cardano. Sam, you said that Sol is a meme chain. Why do you hold so much Sol? What's the conviction? Massive meme coins? No, I just, you know, I've been in the market a long time. Okay? I've seen what happens to the bigger coins, and it's like in the top 5 or 6 coins. So, like, BNB's going to pump. Sol's going to pump. Like, these coins are going to move. Because people are going to introduce them to their friends with multi-millions, and he's going to say, okay, just buy the top 10 or 5 of the top 10. And Solana's just going to get thrown in a lot of big portfolios. I just know that already. That's just how it works. Again, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm positive it's going to happen. So I'm going to ride the wave everyone else is going to ride. I'm not going to miss it. You see? I'm not a fool. I know where that money going. And that money going. So let's take a look at Hyperliquid. I'll play that I'm still in a swing trade. I'm still in adding to. And, you know, this thing is really holding strong compared to the rest of the market. Let's kind of, first of all, let's show you that we're not stopped out yet. Down a little bit, but not stopped out. 39 entry. I DCA'd into more at the bottoms, though. Any thoughts on the recent Basel III implementation on the bank starting in July 1st? Not sure if that interests you, but seems like it might drive gold down below 3K. I think so. Because it's going to create crypto to be kind of very more enticing. And that's going to create a pinch on gold assets and, you know, gold risk management because that money can flow. I think you're spot on, Matt. God bless you and thank you for that information. Love the show, Sam. Keep it at Rail Since podcast, man. We love you, man. Thank you. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to everybody here. Can't imagine. Funny. Yeah, I agree with that. Sam, what do you think about Algorand? Let's take, so look, I just want to go over this idea. Algo, I'm not in, I just, to me, Algo was hot 4 years ago, you know? And it's associated with some people, I don't know, it's not my thing, man. It's just not my thing. It's too big a chain, it's too boring, it takes too long. You know what's weird is Hyperliquid's got this vibe, this like head and shoulder vibe to me, like, dang, man. I could see it either way recently, a lot of different ways. The price action's just kind of got that flatness to it. This has utility. People like it. You think, like, you know, maybe Let's Bonk is taking a little bit of the show, but we get the bounce for Bitcoin. You get the bounce for Hyperliquid. But it does look like it's kind of rolling over, huh? Does it have to revisit 26 again and load up? So crazy. So I know. What did I say? I know. You see people... Look at people talking about, you know, they say, this is what happened. Master Friend posted the 99. I believe he just sold it all. Boom. And done. What is this dude saying, bro? No, you're serious, but I think you probably had a screenshot with that 10K Bitcoin. So what? Render had such a good use case. Still a good play. I think it does have a great play, and I still hold Render. And I don't understand why it's like, you know, nobody seems to pay attention, but Render will, I see it back at $15 at one point. Boss, nice suit. Shout out to Benga. Thank you. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live, jumping on in. Yeah, and we're getting through, you know, these beautiful summer months. I like Hyperliquid. It just, you know, yeah. Let's get another green candle on the day to kind of stop the fact that that could round out. Everything is following Bitcoin now. Oh, yeah. 108,315 for BTC on the fooders. Still not over that we may get this bounce and turn this into a beautiful inverted head and shoulder here on the day. I've never given up on this idea. They just keep kind of making it go lower, but I haven't given up on my quantum trading patterns. MANYU, please, Sammy. New meme on Mexi. Blessings. MANYU. Let's take a look. MANYU on Mexi. There it is, brother. Wow, it went all the way to the ground. I don't know, man. Just for days on the ground. I don't know. New meme, it looks pretty old. from May of 2024. I don't know. Yeah. Are we looking at the same thing? I spelled it just like you spelled it, and MANYU, right? Didn't know 10K Bitcoin with a dominant wallet sell. Yeah, Cardano was a hot 4 years ago. Now it's not. Too much supply. That's also possible. Yep. Sam, if I gave you 100K, what chain are you putting it on? ETH or Sol? I'm buying. On what chain am I putting it on? I'm buying Solana with it. Yeah. I definitely buy Sol over Ethereum. Ethereum go to 10,000, maybe 15,000. That's a 3x. Sol probably at least 3.5x. And Sol has way better price, actually. Let's be honest. Like, it's had, if you were going to trade either one of them back and forth, which one would you have more opportunity? Trading Sol was way better. Sorry, I got to get closer to the mic. You know, but trading Sol has been way better over time. 100%. But, you know, it depends. It all depends. But I definitely trade Sol each time and over, you know, yeah. Right now, unless something changed. Shout out to the super chats. Thank you so much for the love. That's amazing. A big day for chatting. A lot of chat action, so I appreciate that. ADA seems in forever pause world. It does, though. Yeah. SEI long term. Ivan Roke. Can you do TA on SWE? Let's take a look at SWE. SEI. Hey, can you check Inc? We did look at that. PONKE. We looked at that. I got to check out that REIT syndicate. Thank you. Let's take a look at SEI long term. And let's also take a look at SWE. All right. SEI here on MEXC. Oh, yeah, we talked about it. It was like, hey, it's just at a it's at a precipice. Like, it bounces off this 200 on the daily, and it's a perfect entry, or it's high risk for a short squeeze, you know, a squeeze. I wouldn't be surprised if even they come down and kind of stop hunt this whole area before they rip it on out. I DCA into it for sure right here, but just watching it closely, definitely, you know, got to keep it on the, you know, I don't know. I love it, though. I have a long-term bag of it. I believe in this thing long-term and DCAing into it. As far as swing trading altcoins right now, I'm still wary of them. They're not perfect. They're not where I love them to be. I like that discount price, and I like that setup. But I can definitely feel treachery with low volume. So I see SWE eventually making a move out of this giant cup and handle to the upside. That's what's going to happen. Target is 558. I'm heavy in SWE. It might go sideways. It might go down, up. It might take 3 weeks, a month. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know long term, I'm bullish on SWE. And I see SWE making a move to $5.58 and back to that all-time high. I do. It's just going to take its time. Not going to be perfect, and it's going to take its time. That's it. You know, and people don't want to hear that. They want money now. They want money immediately. They want to see that it's all good. And again, when the money flows and the big money really comes in, people are going to be jealous of the people that stayed in the market. And they're going to have to come to terms with the fact that they weren't able to stay in when everyone else, you know, they just decided that it wasn't for them. And that's okay. You know, life was teaching you another lesson at a different time. You'll come back, but, you know, it wasn't meant for you to make the money, or that, not you, but whoever that person was, right? That's why I don't stop, because I know if I don't stop, I'm going to hit big. I'm going to hit big if I don't stop. If I take a day off, I might just miss. Trump is speaking right now. Here we go, right? Lifer, can you check Aerodrome? We'll take a look at AERO. So look for this little flag on the daily to pump. 21, that looks good for SWE. AERO was up nicely last week. Looks like it may have given it some back. Yeah, I saw a descending triangle for AERO. Looked like it was going to dump down all the way back to 55, and it dumped all the way to 67. Every time this thing gets a move on, starts to pump, something a bit odd happens, right? Still could see it in this falling wedge flag that eventually does break up, though. Just make sure it keeps the higher low. Sticks the trend line. And we'd be good for a possible bigger move. But it looks like we're just in for just a month or two of consolidation again on a lot of coins. Great time to consolidate. Great time to pay attention for those long-term ideas, you know. Who took the trade with the lifer? We were up at 2 a.m. My man, God bless you. Thank you. Wow, Crow looks like it's ready now and not chase. So we didn't chase it. We kind of flagged it out. That looks like something that could make some big moves. So I would definitely pay attention to Crow. All right. Look at that. I mean, that's very good tightness on the price action there. Trump bearish, somebody says, I know, right? I don't like, I mean, the more we stay below this 200, the more likely we are bearish for the day and could continue to slump down. I'm not saying long right now, get in a long. I'm saying I would only long if we can bounce. We never got back above that 1 minute 200, right, which is my key to long. So we just keep slumping down. Actually, a slow bleed throughout the day here. Can we round it out? That almost looks like more downside on the 1 minute. I don't like trading the smaller time frames in the summer as much as I do once we get back to liquidity days, you know, so I'm always going to be a little weary. All right. Anytime it pumps, Coinbase pays salaries. You're funny. Love the name, Hopium Copium, I know, right? During trading hours it pumps while everyone's asleep it pumps. I like trading it at night from 12 to 2 in the morning. That's been the play recently to make the money. That's a descending triangle. I see the 1 minute dumping down at 107.8. Let's take a look back at BOOKMAP too. BOOKMAP has liquidity to the downside as well. It does have big red down at 106.3, so it's not all good. It's not all good. And I saw the bigger time frames could just range us sideways for the next few days too. So just don't get caught up in chop. Don't overtrade in this. Observe just one step at a time. And that's even harder said than done. Most people can't do that either. So remember, if you have that skill, that's a skill. Everybody, I got to jump on out of here for the day. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much for joining me throughout this amazing live stream. We did not hit that a hot trade. It was sideways yet again. It's been sideways. Price action's been tough. But if you're in the trading group, we've been hitting some awesome gains at night. So pay attention. 1 minute looks like it's going to dump. I see 107.8 on the horizon there out of a descending triangle. That's the next thing I see happening. Then I'll pick up from there. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. I'll see you tomorrow.